You are tuned in live. It's the show you just can't miss. One on one with Ernest Gibson, CEO of View News Network, bringing you the truth, independent and balanced analysis. We are proud to be the voice of the voiceless. View News Network, where news is our game. Accurate coverage. We are rising to the theme. Live discussion on issues that matters to you. Community engagement. We are breaking right through. One-on-one with the CEO, Ernest Gibson. So mark your calendar. Don't let the time slip away. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Join us today. One-on-one with the CEO. Dynamic and bright. Stay informed with View News, your guardian light. It's a pleasant way to welcome you to a fascinating time here. And let us firstly put up this disclaimer and apology for not being on regularly due to some glitches we had along the way. But henceforth, we're going to be on as fast as we can and as often as we can, regularly Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But this time, we're going to take up the time to bring to your attention key national issues of concern that are going to hit us to get us understand what is unfolding. And we are so excited to also be live on our Facebook page officially. Facebook has given us the opportunity, granted us the opportunity to be on our Facebook page. All you need to do is to log on to Facebook, View News Network, and of course, you get us right in time. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon, and this is the program One-on-One with the CEO, Ambassador Ernest Gibson. My colleagues will join us later on to chime in on those major happenings that we're going to be discussing this evening. My name is Rufus, of course. I'm the irreplaceable D. I lead and other follow. First among equals, of course, I'm destined for greatness. So I'm going to be with you as we talk the talk and walk the walk. Like I always say to all of us, it is something that we need to learn and know it to our fingertip. There are two things in this life we always will remember for: the problems we create and the problems we solve. And we must take responsibility of two things in our lives: our fortune and that of our misfortune. So share the show, share the life, and we're going to be talking these issues that concerns our country and our individual lives. Basically, we're going to be looking at key issues. Just a couple of days, the motorcyclists and the police got into a standoff due to an accident that occurred on the Johnson Street area, where a motorcyclist was crushed by a moving truck that lost control. And basically, the truck the lost control was coming from up Johnson Street, Broad Johnson Street, rolling down to the Gabriel Tucker Bridge. And as you know, for some of you who are familiar with what happens in Liberia, the police just have a checkpoint right at the intersection of the Gabriel Tucker Bridge and that of the Slipway and Water Street intersections. So it was at that point where the motorcyclist was arrested and was being questioned by a police officer. And while they were ongoing the discussion, he did not park, the police did not allow him to park the back of the road, but rather just in the middle of the area there. And that's how this truck that lost control came and crushed him to the ground. That's how all of the other motorcyclists got on the rampage and they started to vandalize police stations and police checkpoints. It started from Central Town and it went as far as Painesville area. So the police RG um, came up with a mandate that no motorcycle, commercial motorcycle, will now apply the principal streets of Monrovia, precisely Central Town, because of the ruler behavior, quote unquote, of the motorcyclists. And he has warned strongly that if you are caught violating, you will meet up with a staunch resistance of the law. We also talk on another issue that has to do with the alleged instruction that was given by the majority black speaker of the House of Representatives in person of Speaker Richard Cohn, wherein he gave an instruction that Representative Yeke Koluba car that was parked to where he normally parked his car to be removed, and video footages have it that the car was being burst in, and Representative Koluba is alleging that monies and other valuables were stolen from his car, and he made it plain that he was going to actually file in an official complaint to the Justice Ministry and that of the court. So, just in the best practice, the police recall some of his officers that were involved, the two officers that were involved into the burglary, alleged burglary of Representative Yeke Koluba car on the mandate of Majority Bloc Speaker Rachel Cohn. So the police is now carrying on an investigation, interrogating her officers who were involved into the matter. Another issue that we're going to be looking at here is very critical. The issue that has to do with customer service in Liberia. All of our sectors, we have this poor customer service. What can be done to solve these problems? These are serious issues that we need to pay keen attention to, because in other countries, customer service plays a pivotal role in the boosting of the economy. You cannot have a business operating where you have those who are working at those areas and not meeting the timely needs of the customers, but rather they go about doing their own thing while customers are with them. You find it happening in the hospital, you find it happening in the banks. We have our own experiences we're going to be sharing with some of you on this show tonight. So that's all about that. If you have any other issues, we can also chat in. Just leave your comments on the live feed, the Facebook page, and our YouTube page, and we're going to definitely read it out for you. This is the program 101 with the CEO. Of course, my name is Rufus. So let's get this break to be right back.
You are tuned in live. It's the show you just can't miss. One-on-one with Ernest Gibson, CEO of Hartview News Network, bringing you the truth, independent and balanced analysis. We are proud to be the voice of the voiceless. Hartview News Network, where news is our game. Accurate coverage. We are rising to the theme. Live discussion on issues that matters to you. Community engagement. We are breaking right through. One-on-one with the CEO, Ernest Gibson. So mark your calendar. Don't let the time slip away. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Join us today. One-on-one with the CEO. Dynamic and bright. Stay informed with Hartview News, your guiding light.
It's good to be back. What a pleasant way to say welcome. For those of you following us on our live feed, our Facebook page, we say welcome. Just leave your comments there. And for the first time since we opened our Facebook page, there is this restriction by Facebook that you must have obtained 100 plus followers, and you must have passed 60 days before you are allowed to go live on Facebook or whatever page you may have opened. So that's the process we've been going through, and we have passed the number now. And we expect more of you to join us as we look forward to transforming information dissemination in our country. Most of you always know that, hey, when certain media institutions get on an issue, you know where they are headed. But for us, we are independent. We are authentic with our information. We do not have sides. We are independent, and we look forward to doing the things that are meant to be done with ethical standard to the highest level. So we talk about a few things this in our intro, and we thought to let you know that you can also chant in by leaving your comments. We talk about the motorcyclists and the police issue, right? So I'm going to have this video play out here for you so that you see what happened the last time. Um, what happened the last time during the standoff between the police and that of the motorcyclists. It wasn't an easy thing. It was very, 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 very serious that day, just couple of days. And there's this restriction being placed on motorcyclists from flying the main routes of the central town. Yeah, so it is something that we all need to look at. Is it right that the police maintain this restriction, or the how you call them, the motorcyclists that were involved into the issue be brought to justice and allow those who have gone through all of the processes, as you know, the folks have gone through registration of the motorbike, getting all of the documents that are needed, the helmets and stuff. But now you have it. These individuals have been put on serious restriction that they cannot have access to the main road in terms of central town. They are just routing the communities and the suburbs. Or thousands of motorcycles have been arrested by the Liberian National Police on grounds of those in violation of the mandate that came from the police IG concerning the matter. These things have serious security implication, as we know that the police are there to safeguard lives and property and so on. The motorcyclists coming up, regardless of what may have happened, going on the rampage, breaking police checkpoints, and doing all sort of things. These things are now called for the most serious security implication. As you know, we have a fragile peace, so we need to maintain the peace. And how do we maintain the peace? We maintain the peace by law and order. So, with that being said, we're trying to get for you the video um, from some of the interaction that went on with the motorcyclists. Yeah, the issue that has to do with the motorcyclists. It was very, 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 very troublesome that afternoon, where motorcyclists went on the rampage, vandalizing police checkpoints and other stuff like that. We also say to the police, there are times without numbers We've said this when even when it comes to vehicles, right? When you have a vehicle packed or you want to have to check a vehicle, all you do, tell the operator of that vehicle to park the vehicle off the road to give access to all those other individuals who want to also have the road to be used by them. But you just parking right on the road, it's it has no how do you call it, no, it show no regard for others. So John Keyon is the president for the Motorcyclist Union. He had a press conference, and let me play for you what he had to say concerning the mandate being given by the police IG concerning the recent issue that took place in Monrovia. So if you just joined us, we'd love to say welcome. This is Hardview News Network, and this is the program One on One with the CEO Ernest Gibson. My name is Rufus. So let's listen to John Keyon. John Keyon is the president for the Motorcyclist Union. So let's listen to John.
Example, when the government decided to enforce the usage of helmets, as leadership, we deem them necessary because it is for the common good of our people. It is for the safety of our people. So we supported the idea. So now for what happened to take a sweeping action against the entire over 150,000 motorcyclists in Maserati, Monrovia, to be specific, it is unacceptable. And we want to call on our LFP officers not to use this occasion, to marginalize the suffering motorcyclists, the innocent motorcyclists. We understand that the law enforcement must maintain order, but we ask for a fair and just approach that does not punish innocent riders who had no involvement in the incident yesterday. As thousands of families depend on the sector on a daily basis, take a ratio of three to a dependent, and take 300,000 people. 300,000 times 3, you get 900,000 people depending on commercial motorcycle and keke riding on a daily basis. We cannot make these people jobless. And we know that we love this government. We love this leadership. We do appreciate this leadership. And that's the reason why we are always working constructively, collaboratively, unanimously as a leadership to maintaining peace and stability within the motorcycle and tricycle sector. At this time, we would like to condemn in a very strongest term the death of a peaceful citizen, the death of a motorcyclist. No one deserves to die especially at a young age. No single Liberian life is better than the other. But we know accident is unforeseen situation that nobody has control over. According to our own investigation, we understood that the incident yesterday, a yellow truck belonging to Water and Sewage, NJJ, lost control yesterday up Slipway, going down Slipway, and then this rider met his untimely death. We know we feel the pains, especially to the bereaved families. It is our loss. It is all of us loss. Therefore, we call on you to please let us not use violence as a conduit to addressing issues affecting us. We call for emergency meeting because of this. Again, I'm a team. We call for an emergency meeting, stakeholders meeting with the Liberia National Police, the Ministry of Transport, Infantry Leadership, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and all relevant authorities, Ministry of Justice, as a way of finding an amicable solution to what is currently unfolding.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Infantry, which is a Moorish Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Unions of Liberia, we can assure the general public that we are going to carry awareness to educate motorcyclists and tricyclists about the rule of law that we have been doing. If you look at the barrier, you will see that our institutions have been working with international partners conducting treaty across the country. United for Progress, Connect for Peace, and Youth for Peace activities. These are things we have been doing as an institution to strengthen our internal resolution. We will implement strict measures. Again, I'm a team. We maintain as an institution. We will implement strict measures to identify and penalize riders who are engaged in criminal activities or protests without letting the leadership know. You cannot have a leadership. Since this morning, my boss, I think you can see, the leadership have been up and down, engaging the riders. Calls coming from every angle. Calls coming from everywhere. Our responsibility is to maintain peace and stability in our country. This is our beloved country that we can never be deported from. We urge political parties and actors to refrain from using commercial motorcycle and tricycle operators not to engage in any unlawful activities that will undermine the coexistence of motorcyclists in Liberia and tricyclists. The Moorish Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Union of Liberia, FM2 for short, will strengthen collaboration with the Liberia National Police and every security apparatus to ensure better communication, to prevent unnecessary confrontation between officers and motorcyclists, as well as tricyclists. We appeal for unity. We are calling for unity to our fellow motorcyclists. We are begging you, as your national leaders, we are begging you to please see reason. Your business you are doing, you cannot allow other people to use you. Today, we have advocated so that you can be running all in town, but just use your helmet to avoid your safety. And others want to spoil everything that you are enjoying. These are the same politicians that are now calling on the police that they should take you from the streets. These are the same politicians who are now calling on the police that they should take you from the streets, that you are lawless. The same politicians who are using you, my fellow motorcyclists. Therefore, we appeal for unity in our sector. We want to inform the motorcyclists and tricyclists that the Moorish Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Union of Liberia is in close consultation with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Okaramoto, Liberia, Ministry of Justice, and every relevant authorities, institutions, to ensure that a massive training workshop is conducted across the length and breadth of the Republic of Liberia. And we are calling on President Baka. We are calling on Jeremiah Koo. We are calling on Rachel Koo. We are calling on all of our lawmakers. We are calling on Senator Dominic Lawrence. We are calling on our senators. We are calling on every ministries to support this endeavor for a massive training for our cyclists across the length and breadth of the Republic of Liberia.
Thanks to our friends there I spawned for the video footage. Let's see if we can add on the screen here and get this out for you. Okay, let's get this quickly. Okay, let's get a play for you.
National Police, they have operations of the police here today is more than what we've seen in the past. You want to give us an idea of what's going on?
Well, we are out of the normal a little bit. As you may be aware, usually the police will do deployment to various locations in Monrovia or at various locations in Monrovia to detail motorcyclists who are not in full compliance and other road users. But today we step up a little bit as a result of an incident, numerous incidents, so to speak, violent incidents that have been occurring around Monrovia. But yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What exactly was that situation, for the sake of our audience, those who may not have catch up with the situation?
So a truck driver, while climbing the Crown Hill on the Broad Street yesterday, apparently fell on the hill, probably as a result of mechanical default or his ability to properly drive his vehicle. While maneuvering to let his vehicle land, he ran into a cyclist on the Johnson Street, almost to the slipway, to the bridge at the bottom of the foot of the bridge. And as a result thereof, the motorcyclist went unconscious. The police hurriedly took him up to the hospital and he got pronounced dead upon arrival. Before we knew it, a band of motorcyclists in their numbers, 200 to 300, took to the streets and started to run behind police officers who were assigned everywhere in town, to the extent of vandalizing police infrastructures that we got along the road. So you might be aware that we built a state-of-the-art booths around town. The one at Vamoma, the one here at Boulevard. The one at Boulevard, you need to take your camera here after to see the level of damage that was done. All the police barricades were in town. They started to remove them by force and started attacking police officers. To begin with, the Liberian National Police regret the death of this young man, and we're in sympathy with the family. But the act of lawlessness yesterday was unprecedented, even though there have been numerous incidents of lawlessness. But the extent to which they took it yesterday, where they were targeting police officers in every loop and corner, we thought was on the extreme, and we had to assess the situation properly.
Now, what exactly is the enforcement going to be like moving forward? How long are we expected to see this? And as a result of what happened, what is it like? Is it that motorcyclists are restricted from going to certain places? I want to understand that.
The police, being an intelligence-led institution, continue to get tip-off from our intelligence sources that there are possibility of the guys regrouping and causing more havoc on society. So as a result thereof, we got this temporary measure we put into place this morning. We're restricting the movement of all commercial motorcyclists within these zones that we declare some times ago as compliance zone. You may be aware that about 6, 7, 8 months ago, I think sometimes last May, to be specific, we had a lot of engagement with the leadership of the motorcyclists.
15th of
Exactly. So we had these places that were cut off, the Boulevard Junction to Central Monrovia through the Tottenham Boulevard corridor, the Freeport to Central Monrovia through the Claratown corridor, where declare compliance zone. That is to say, you needed to make sure that you roll a helmet, you have wear fitted shoes, you carry reflective jackets, and all your necessary registrations were in place before you could plow those areas. So those same areas are where we've cut off temporarily until we can do a proper assessment of the level of vulnerability from our intelligence sources. And thereafter, we might make some decisions to do some adjustments as soon as our intelligence sources can inform us that the level of vulnerability is low.
Now, just a final one from my end. This process has been going for a very long time, talking about the restriction, the no-go zone, and all of that. How has the compliance rate been like? From the angle of the motorcyclists, have the motorcyclists been working, or let's say in compliance with what the police intends to do?
To a great extent. I mean, we all are witnesses here. We all live in Monrovia, and it's a small town. We all see what happening everywhere in town, and probably because of our own engagement with the leadership, there were a lot of consultations with the leadership, including a soccer match. I think you, the media, took the trophy or in the soccer match where we killed a cow. We went to the executive, what is it called? The football field there in Congo Town. And we had a soccer match. So there were a lot of engagement. We had more than 50 meetings before we started our compliance. So I would say, I mean, for the sake of the record, that compliance was, I mean, very good to a greater extent, even though there will always be cracks in the system. But to some extent, the compliance was very good. The guys were very cooperative. Yesterday incident, I mean, just turned the table for us, because if we police officers are being chased, if our own infrastructures are being damaged, and we cannot maintain the situation, so I stand to wonder whether we got the capability of being able to take care of the general public. So, I mean, based on our intelligence, we have to put these measures into place, because we understand the livelihood issues affiliated with this thing, Nelson. Most of these motorcyclists use these cycles as a means of livelihood. They got families to look out for. Some of them find themselves in schools. They got to pay their fees. They got kids. They got, let me call it livelihood in general. So we don't intend to impose anything that will, bring about untold suffering on the general public. But when the state of the security starts to get threatened, of course, then it's my business to make sure that I put measures into place. I will ensure that the rest of the general public feels safe. That is just the case in this instant case.
Anything you want to say finally, just before we move on?
Well, we basically want to caution the general public that we understand the constraints this is going to cause, some of us, to the extent that this morning I was using my car right there at the ministerial complex. I was using my car for the school bus this morning.
Wow.
I told like 7 students in my car to take them to school. I was stopping and picking up students along the way. As I was dropping students off, I was picking up these students. Because I know the challenges, and they were more vulnerable because they might get late for their classes. So we're just asking the general public to give us the cooperation. We're doing this not as individuals, but in the interest of the general public. Please avoid riding these motorcycles in these zones that are temporarily being assessed, so as to avoid people getting hurt. The motorcycle is a two-wheeler. It has easy means of maneuvering. And when you get on them and the police try to stop them and those guys start to maneuver, it's possible the citizens can get hurt, and we don't want that. Even the motorcyclists themselves, we're very concerned about their well-being. So we are asking the motorcyclists to remain in full compliance until we can conduct this as vulnerability, accessibility, and we're asking the general public to also support us in this exercise.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thank you so much, Spoon.
So his police inspector Nelson actually speaking to our colleague from our sister network Spoon on the issue that has to do with this whole rigmarole with the police officers and that of the motorcyclists. Earlier on, we played for you the interview or press conference held by the president of the motorcycles union. John Kenyon spoke plentifully. He talked about The issue that has to do with training that will enlighten the minds of the motorcyclists on the rule of law and adherence to the rules and regulations that governs the traffic. And you just listen to Inspector Nelson, who is the 102 for the Liberia National Police operation. He also talked about the constraints that come with this restriction, and the restriction is not something that's gonna stay in full swing until it causes serious inaccessibility to folks, most especially students who are commuting from one point to the other for classes. He even made mention of him using his police assigned vehicle to drop and pick up students who were on their way to school. He also talked about the issue that has to do with violence. Violence is not the way. We must channel all of our grievances through the rule of law and the proper channels. Vandalizing police checkpoints, police mini booths. Uh, he said it was not in the right direction by the motorcyclists. And as we listened to John Keon initially, he said they are also in talks with the hierarchy of the police and that of other ministries that are responsible, like transport, like the transport ministry, you have the justice ministry, all getting involved with the process. So let's move on to another talking point here. We're done with that part of the motorcycles and that of the police. So let's move on to another talking point, and we can lay our hands on something quickly. Just few days on Tuesday, we saw a standoff, or what we term as a standoff, or a serious word of words at the Capitol, where our leaders go to discuss matters concerning our nation and its growth. It will interest you to know that there was this situation where the private vehicle of Representative of District Number 10, Montserrat County, Representative Yeke Koluba, parked his vehicle where the speaker's vehicle is normally parked. So, upon the arrival of Majority Black Speaker Honorable Richard Kuhn, he gave order that the car be removed from the parking so that he have access to park his car. But to no avail, um, Representative Koluba wasn't around. He was somewhere around the Capitol, and that day he accompanied the embattled speaker, Chief Fonati Kofa. So while they were upstairs, and there came the arrival of the Majority Black Speaker, Richard Kuhn. Now, yeah, Richard Kuhn. So Richard Kuhn vehicle couldn't park to this normal place. So he passed an order that the vehicle of Representative Koluba be removed. And that vehicle was broken into, and Representative Koluba is alleging that he had monies and other valuables within that vehicle. So he said he was filing in a complaint to the police on war, to the Justice Ministry, and that of the court for redress. If nothing is done, he said in his words, I'm trying to get the actual video for you, so you listen to Honorable Kaluba himself so that you listen to Representative Cordoba himself. Yeah, so I don't want to quote him. I want you to listen to the horse's own mouth. And please bear with us for any bad words if there will be, because he cannot give him chances in this. We know how the representative do address issues. So let's see if we can get that. Uh, let's see if we can get that aspect of it. Let's see if we can get that aspect of it here. Representative Koluba. Let's see where is he? Representative Koluba. Let's see if we can get him. Let's see if we can get it quickly to move to another talking point. Where are we? Representative Cordoba vehicle was broken into. Where do we see this? So if you just join us, this is the program. Um, this is the program one-on-one with the CEO Ernest Gibson. He's unable to be with us due to some test schedules beyond his control. However, he's gonna be with us some days. So let's see if we can get what Representative Koluba had to say concerning this issue. I'm trying to get the real answer, but he filed in a complaint to the police. Let's hear what the outcome after filing his complaint to the police. Let's see what the police outcome and meeting with him turned out to be. Let's see if we can get that quickly for you. We're running out of time now, so let's see. Okay.
I'll be meeting my lawyers today. Also going to.
And please bear with us for the poor quality, the internet glitches.
Issue a lawsuit. Besides what the police is doing here, we are going to go civil. I was suing for nothing less than. I mean, I will let him pay for damages because he's on camera giving instructions. The case is not going to end here. I can never ride a car again. My car was bust into jail by a criminal, Richard Kuhn. So, what the police is doing, I was suing for nothing less. Damages for what it did. You have to pay for that. You are going to include the vehicle there now. I can't ride a vehicle no more. I can't ride. It gets some cash and value, not the amount. Maybe you could go up to like 1 billion US, 500,000 US with damages and other things. But we are going through the civil law. We are quickly. When you have civil, and they will be asking you for income, you're going to do it. I can get lots of people. The money that I got because I'm not into corruption thing in the capital building. Any money that I got, I've been telling you, I can justify anything I say.
If I say 1 million US, I can justify it. Do you know my work? The question is, why would you start with something? Well, that's my money. I decide where to put it and where to travel it. I decide to take my money from the bank every time they pay me and keep it in my house. We charge my money. Well, when that time reached, the investigation will be done.
Oh, yesterday there was information that you had another vehicle parked in the
I
very
will always
position.
park there. That place is not for anyone. If I will have to give courtesy, or the courtesy to someone, that courtesy I will tell speaker Fonati Kofa say, Speaker Kofa, yes, please park here or the courtesy. That place is not for anyone.
Others see your action as provocation to the other side.
Then that's why you should be moderate. Provocation, you say you want to be a leader, then you being provoked. I've not seen a leader being provoked before. I've not seen a leader the leader should be the last person to be provoked. I've not seen a leader being provoked before. Richard Kun is not the speaker of the house. And I can not recognize him.
Representative Koluba of District Number 10 Monserrate County speaking on the issue that has to do with the breaking into of his vehicle on the orders of um, Majority Bloc Speaker Richard Cohn. So let's move on to our last talking point that has to do with customer service. Customer service is very important in every sector. We understand that Liberia is challenged when it comes to customer service, proper customer service. You go to the banking hall, one of the worst areas to go is at the banking hall where some institutions, we're not going to name these institutions for best practice, but however, some of these institutions needs to work on the issue that has to do with their customer service. It will interest you to know that so like I said, when you get at the banking hall, the tellers are doing their own thing. They got some side jobs or some side work that they need to do before the end of the day or end of the work day. They will pay more attention to those things and leave the customers who are present in that business. Some go there to deposit, some go there to withdraw, and some there go to acquire some basic information. These tellers will never focus on those people. They will rather pay attention to the extra jobs that they got to do, or maybe they want to punch in some friend's check or so. They will do those ones and forget about the people who are standing in the queue. We experienced it just today when we went to do some transaction at one of these popular banks in town. So we are urging the bank owners, the bank managers, to get on their employees, especially the tellers, Customer service is very important. If you cannot maintain and relate to your customers, then what's the basic need of you having the business? Because someone cannot go to the bank to spend the money, and at the end of the day, just today, a lady walked out of the banking hall because she stayed there for hours and she couldn't be attended to, so she had to leave with the money that she carried to deposit. You see, so if you think you have a good system in place, you won't have people carrying money back or being disenchanted in that form of manner. So we want to call on everybody, even at the hospital. These nurses and doctors, they don't pay attention to the patients. They just talk to them anyhow, somewhere on their phones. You go to entertainment centers, you got to call the waiter or waitress to come and serve you. Why they should be the first to approach you, welcome you to the place, and tell you what are those things that they have there. But not with Liberia and the customer service. Only very few institutions adhere to these customer service practices. So we want to please public money, let business owners take keen note of this and work along with your staffers. If it calls for you to call for a training, we can make ourselves available so that they get to know the importance of customer service. Go at banking halls, go at hospitals, go to business centers. It's just bad, bad. We need to work on these things. We need to work on it. In as much we want to see investment coming to the country, we need to work on our customer service and our service delivery. Our delivery services needs to be worked on. So wherever you are, this is Hardview Network. Let me get this break. When I come back, we wind down the curtains on today's edition of the program. Sincerely apologize that our colleague cannot be here with due to some unforeseen circumstances. But however, we appreciate all of you and your participation.
You are tuned in live. It's the show you just can't miss. One on one with Ernest Gibson, CEO of Hardview News Network, bringing you the truth, independent and balanced analysis. We are proud to be the voice of the voiceless. Hardview News Network, where news is our game. Accurate coverage. We are rising to the theme. Live discussion on issues that matters to you. Community engagement. We are breaking right through. One-on-one with the CEO, Ernest Gibson. So mark your calendar. Don't let the time slip away. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Join us today. One-on-one with the CEO. Dynamic and bright. Stay informed with Hardview News, your guiding light.
This is how I would love to say many thanks to all of you who formed part of today's edition of the program Hardview one-on-one with the CEO Ernest Gibson. My name is Rufus. Thanks for your listening role. Thanks so kindly for following. Officially, we have the full house here on Monday, of course, from 8:30 to 9, at most 10 o'clock. Let's keep the peace and play it safe. This is only land that we cannot be deported from as Liberians. So until I have the time to talk to you, my name is Rufus Divine Conan. I lead and I'll follow. First among equals, of course, I'm destined for greatness. Have yourselves a wonderful and God